welcome to the Art of Franchise Marketing. Each episode takes a deep dive into the franchise space and explores how the biggest and best brands handle national branding, franchise development, employee recruitment, and localized marketing on a daily basis. This podcast is brought to you by NetCertive, a localized digital marketing partner for franchise networks. NetCertive talks shop with franchise executives to discuss what's working, what's not, and answers the question, what else can you be doing to excel at the art of franchise marketing?
Hello, and welcome to the Art of Franchise Marketing podcast. I'm your host, Erin Martin, and this episode's brought to you by NetCertive. Today, our guest is Drew Stauffacher, the president of 9Round, also known as the captain, it sounds like, at 9Round.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us today, Drew.
Thanks so much for having me, Erin. I'm excited to have this conversation.
And so just to kick it off, would love to know a little bit more about your background and then your current role as president at 9Round.
Perfect. Yeah. I started in the fitness industry as a personal trainer about 20 years ago, working my way through downtown Milwaukee through a couple different fitness concepts, figuring out where I wanted to be, and fitness franchising was something that interested me early on. I could see the opportunity for business ownership to be able to move faster, to be profitable and things like that. So I already started gravitating towards the fitness franchising model, which I obviously am now a big part of, working for 9Round. But 9Round ended up finding me while I just graduated college. And I was working these crazy hours as a personal trainer, 14-hour days. But I was only training, like some days I trained 6 people. But it was a span of over 14 hours. I had these massive blocks of time, and I was like, all right, I need to find ways to make more money throughout the day. And the gentleman that was the first franchisee in Wisconsin opened 9Round, and I quickly started working part-time for him 2 days a week. And it was 8 to noon, and all of a sudden, these 2 blocks of 4 hours, I was training 30 people, 35 people in 4 hours. And I was like, I don't train this many people sometimes in a week. And it was so much fun. The music was loud. We're doing hand pad work. And it was just the most engagement I'd ever had in my career up to that point. And it reminded me growing up in the martial arts world a little bit too, where I'd have these big classes of students and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that was like my aha moment that I knew that I really loved the brand of 9Round. I loved the idea of franchising because I always had the idea of trying to work for myself someday. So he wanted to open that location on the other side of town. I quickly became his manager of the new location. I ran that location for 3.5 years, and that's where I really started my evolution through the 9Round ladder. So I did that for a long time. Then I bought a 9Round location. Then I started another one. And then after a few years of multi-unit ownership, I started talking to the CEO and the COO of 9Round with some ideas on becoming a member of the home office team. So then I was the director of fitness for a long time. We did the fun stuff during COVID, which was really challenging, but really stretched our muscles of how to figure out what to do there. And then I had a couple different operational roles for the company, and now, like you said, I'm the brand president of 9Round. So it's my fun journey through the 9Round ranks.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love when you see the home office team members that have also been franchisees, just to have that deep level of understanding and being in their shoes. And I think one thing that I love about what we were talking about before the podcast to get to know each other was a lot of the grassroots marketing and operational items that you guys have dug into. Especially, I've been hearing and talking to a lot of marketers about how the whole COVID era, it was almost like a little different for fitness in that you guys had to update a membership model and do things a little bit differently. But for a lot of brands, you could just dump money into paid digital, and it was like wildly successful. And now we've gotten a little bit away from that. There's a lot more competition, rising ad costs, and just that playbook of just dumping money into digital doesn't work anymore. And the pendulum is swinging back to getting grassroots and local marketing.
Yeah.
And can you tell a little bit more about your guys' approach to that, like your philosophy and what you guys are doing on that front?
Yeah, so my philosophy of that kind of starts with one of the things that I always have believed in, even through those tough times, and it's If you take care, your community will take care of you. That was always at the forefront of what I thought about when I was doing grassroots marketing. But the concept of just being out, going to lunch at a local restaurant with your branded shirt on, that is a version of marketing in a way. And leaving a couple flyers or free passes or something like that as you get your bill, that's marketing, right? Also, when it just comes to being a part of a local group or going to a local event, that's marketing and things that you should be doing every day that doesn't cost you anything, right? That's just effort of showing your connection to the community. One of the things in the franchise world sometimes that we are fighting is remembering that you're a local business owner. Yes, 9 Round, we're all over the world. We have lots of locations, but it's owned by someone that lives in your area. Their kids probably go to the school that your kids go to and all those types of things. So you have to do those local marketing initiatives to, again, let the community know that you're a part of it, because that is a massive part to all of this. And when I bought my first location, I was 28 years old, didn't have a lot of money. I couldn't do the dump into all what you were talking about before anyways. So it's boots on the ground. It's doing the stuff that makes me actually talk face to face like you and I are right now, but in person, obviously. And they get to understand more about me, and it becomes more about that relationship building. And then I hope because of this conversation, you're now going to talk to your network of 100 people about this awesome conversation you had with this guy, Drew, that just bought this 9 Round location, and compound effect can happen from there then, right?
Yeah, and those conversations, it's interesting from the marketing perspective. You can literally have one conversation could end up being a brand awareness play. They didn't know about you and now they do. It could be building that trust, so you get them into the consideration phase, and then literally like lead. Like, I know that's very a mechanical way of looking at a relationship, but you can literally do every stage of the marketing funnel with one conversation, and then mix in some super happy customers that are validating with social proof of, oh yeah, I heard about 9 Round too, did their free class or whatever it was. Like, that is gold. So I'm curious, now that you're on the trying to scale a local playbook side, what does that actually look like for you guys when you're trying to coach franchisees on what their local playbook looks like?
Yeah, there's so much, obviously, that you can do. And again, I'm thinking, again, as brand president here a little bit, there's kind of 2 main macro things that I like to talk about. Number one, there's 2 different types of people that you can talk to. One is someone with a bigger network, meaning the other local business owners. We teach people all the time, go to B2B, go to the places that like service, like-minded clients. And yes, that's really true. But what I focus on is, okay, who are the people in my area that don't know 100 people, know 1,000 people or thousands of people? And that is the local business owners, because they are well connected. They have lots of customers and clients or members or whatever. I remember early on in my career too, getting involved with the mayor of my city. Again, he was an elected official. It's literally his job to have a massive network. And getting involved with him was something that was massively helpful for a young entrepreneur that needed help with his reach. And I got to meet so many cool people, but that was massive for me early in my career. So that's one side, the big network people. The other side is just making yourself accountable. And what this means is making sure that you're properly working the math equation. And so for me, I had this philosophy that every day, Monday through Friday, I had to do actions that equaled 100 different types of people that I connected with every day. Now, this could mean a lot of different things. It could mean 100 text messages that I sent just individually for whatever reason. It could mean I went to 10 different businesses with 10 flyers for each business, and each one of those flyers to me was a possible connection with a person in the area. And there's a gazillion different types of things, but my philosophy was if I did 100 things Monday through Friday, so 5 days a week, every week, then that would be 500 things in a week. That'd be 2,000 connections I made in a month. There's no way I'd lose at that. And so from a not even getting into spending any money yet, I've figured out ways into big networks. I've figured out ways to make myself accountable to hit 2,000 people every month. and then move from there. And then anything I did on top of that from paid and all that stuff was like the background is just working for me, and it's going to make all this local stuff work even better.
Yeah. I think that's a really good tangible way to even like marketing front or sales front. If you're working on Fran Dev side or consumer marketing to make yourself accountable, it's like back into it. What are the activities that need to be happening to get to the results you want?
Yep.
And then just quantify it. Like, okay, like where are you at now? Benchmark it. Like I might be doing 25 emails or outreaches or personal connections with people in my community now. The goal is to double that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So I'm curious, do you have those type of expectations in communication and education for your franchisees local marketing playbook right now then? Like holding their feet to the fire of 100 local connect type things?
100%. We provide a playbook that provides them engagement and then keeping your current members sticky and keeping them in the studio. We always talk about, and it's probably said a million times, it's more expensive to get new clients than it is to keep the existing ones, right? Which is very true. And so you have to make sure that that's part of your marketing play too, of making sure you're doing the proper things to keep people around well past the average churn rate. So yeah, but we do open coaching calls, we do one-on-one calls with our franchisees all the time. And when I'm talking to someone, I'll bring up compound effect. Okay, to your point, you're doing 25 emails right now a day and we're not getting the results we have. First thing that we can do, let's just double that and see what kind of results we get. If we get more, great, let's double it again. Or let's keep that going and add something else because we know this is good. You're spending this much amount of time here. What else can we then add? And again, just start slowly building from there. And that's one of the things that I try to get people to understand too. Don't replace a piece of your marketing with something else because this didn't work. This just might need more time to cook. So leave that there. It's still something that's tried and true at whatever this marketing initiative is, but let's add something instead.
Yeah.
But I see that that's a common error. This didn't work. I tried it for 3 months. Let me move the dollars over here instead, or move my 5 hours of sweat equity over here instead.
Yeah, good tip. And I'm curious, are you guys doing influencer marketing then if you're looking at engaging more in local community and doing any micro influencing?
Yeah, I love the idea of a business owner looking around Instagram who's got 5,000 followers or 30,000 followers. And again, you can start a little lower and just get someone that, you can, it's a trade. It's if you do a post, we'll hook you up with 3 months of unlimited workouts at our studio or whatever. Could be a month. Doesn't really matter. I'll give time at the studio for something in return all day long from those big network people too. Let me get you into the gym. That's one of the things that I always teach all the time. If we're going to be partners or we're going to do something together, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to work out together. You're going to come to the studio. You're going to see what it's like. I'm going to put you through the workout. I'll train you myself. That is always something that I teach, because if you're going to be talking about me, I want you to understand what my biggest passion is, and it's what my business is, which is in our world, it's the best 30-minute workout on the planet. It's kickboxing. It's no class times. There's trainers there. It's a new workout every day. But I can tell you all that, but until you feel it, then you're not going to fully be invested in telling your network about us and what we do for the community.
Yeah, and so do you let franchisees just run you find your own influencer, run with it, make the trade good to go, or do you require an approval by corporate to verify, like, this person's credible, not a crazy person that we don't want our brand associated with? What's your guys' checks and balances there?
When it comes to the influencer stuff, I would say normally we just get asked about it. What do you think about this person? But it's more of a conceptual approach of here's the types of things to look for. We really believe in giving franchisees the tools. We are not like massive compliant police. We talk about framework. We talk about doing things the 9-round way or the striking brands way. But yeah, there's not a massive approval process. Where we have more of an approval process is the vendors that we're bringing to the franchisees, making sure that they're properly vetted, because those are tools to help you run your business. One of the things that we believe in as a franchisor is you're, again, that local business owner. I was in Milwaukee, so I know how to talk to the people in Milwaukee. And even in Milwaukee, I know how to talk to the people on this side of town of Milwaukee. That's my biggest strength. But what I'm taking from the franchisor is things like speed, because I don't have to test things and vet things. They have it for me. So I can have speed there. I can have support. I can talk to someone like myself or someone that's an expert in marketing or whatever, and all of that. And then the systems. We use system as an acronym: save yourself time, energy, and money. So the other reason why we believe in what we do.
That's good.
So we provide the tools for you to then go to your local community and go to work. And what we provide is 16 years of experience of what we've seen work and not work.
Yeah. And what's interesting there too is I think automatically, as like people who are promoting the brand values, trying to get the message out, can be a little scared of non-compliance. It's like at the same time, if you give them the tools and there's a mistake, like that's one of the best ways to learn too. If I'm a franchise owner and I'm running with a micro influencer and it works awesome because you find the right profile, the right amount of followers, like it's a great partnership. Like you can see how finding the right person works out really well. And then if another person accidentally finds someone who you think is a good fit, but ends up being this like crazy person that now you're associated with in the local community, that's also an amazing learning point for the whole system to be able to see this is what can happen if you don't fully vet a micro influencer correctly. Like you get hooked onto a crazy wagon. So I think when you go your approach of not being the people that are like overly trying to be buttoned up on every single piece of brand compliance, it's like you learn from mistakes. Like it's okay for mistakes to be happening if you learn from them, and people can be better, or the brand can be better because of it. That's the flip side too.
And, again, it's what is the mission of this marketing tactic? The mission is to show the workout and show show my involvement in the community. So the fact that someone with 5 to 10,000 followers or 50,000 followers, whatever it is, right, is coming and working out, that's the biggest thing. That's why it's not super police. It's not like they're taking our trademarks or they're taking our logos.
Yeah, they're showing the in-studio experience.
Exactly, and that's what I want. I want
exposure of that.
Like that big sign that you pay like 5-10 grand for, that's beautiful in front of your space, is great. But I want people to see inside the four walls, and then have someone that isn't necessarily always me being, man, this place is awesome and here's why. But if I can have someone that's local in the community that has a following and a trusting, that's fantastic. The weight of that is incredible, and I love that stuff.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to pick your brain on, I think you mentioned before that you guys had done some research around how to then also message a lot of your brand message locally and educate franchisees on that piece. So can you talk a little bit more about what you guys were doing there?
Yeah, so recently we definitely did some studies that involved getting more educated about what people that have sought out non-round, why they didn't sign up, why they did. And we also talked to people that used to be members. We talked to people that are current members. And I don't really know how all that part's done. I just know that we set it all up and it was really great and the data we got was fantastic. But one of the things, we're a kickboxing franchise. And when I say kickboxing franchise, red flags go up for a lot of people, and especially for the type of people that we want. We want 30 to 50-year-old mothers of two that don't know they're going to work out. They got so many things. You and I were talking about the call. You have all these things happening with your kids right now, but I know you have 2% of your day that you can swing over to 9-round, get a quick, efficient workout, and get on with your day. And you need that part. You need to be educated that 9-round can provide you that part. It has nothing to do with kickboxing. Now, when our product is developed by a pro kickboxer, I come from the martial arts world. I've been doing this since I was 7 years old. So the science and the circuit and how all that works from a kickboxing perspective, we do tout it. But what's more important for someone like you? What's important is, oh my gosh, I just heard about this place. It's 30 minutes. You can burn 300 to 500 calories in just 30 minutes, get a total body workout. You get to choose if you work out with a trainer or not. It's open 24 hours or 7 days a week. And if I just come in 3 times a week, I can hit my results. I can stay healthy for myself, my kids, my family, etc. That's awesome. They just happen to use kickboxing as a way for me to do all that stuff. And that's awesome too. And that sounds really fun. It's interesting. I've never done that before. But again, the hook is more about the convenience. It's more about the effective and efficiency where I can do this 3 times a week, 30 minutes a day, and live a healthy lifestyle. That's like the end goal for so many people across the country. And then we really believe that anybody can do 9 round as well, and touting that. This is a general population business model. It's not a niche business that you're going to get kicked in the head. Only so many people want to do that. That's one of the reasons why Shannon and Heather came up with this model 16 years ago. It was take what he did as a professional kickboxer, but bring it to the general population.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know you didn't deploy the survey, so I'm not sure if you know this, but did the survey seek out to better understand how to message specifically, or was it just a general research study, or like how did you guys go about structuring it so that you got the right type of intel to know how to inform your marketing message?
Yeah, one of the things, again, we've been doing this for a very long time, and coming out of the pandemic and all that, we're transitioning, and some people call it 9 round 2.0. It's just an evolution of going from where our business was no class times and you always had to have a trainer there, to now we have video screens that can lead you. They're a trainer aid if the trainer's there, but it can be if I want to work out at midnight and I'm a police officer and I have these wompy hours, I can still go and get a workout through my app. It'll open the door. I can come in, get a great 30-minute workout, even if I work 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Do you guys track that data then on what time classes are booked and like customers or revenue by time?
Yeah, we're always going to have a morning crowd, a lunch crowd, an after work crowd. That's pretty common. So what we do with our gyms that are open 24 hours a day, or for 20 of the 24 hours of the day, we have trainers there during those high peak times. And then we have CRMs that are going to track what are the peak hours and all that kind of stuff. And it's one of those things that you just know that you're going to have those peak times. So we have trainers there. And then for the off-peak hours, you can still come and work out. And you're not, because I can't work out at a peak hour, doesn't mean I can't come to 9 round. That's not a thing anymore. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I think especially when it can be super competitive, especially for my type of ideal customer. There's a lot of brands out there looking at my market share, trying to reach me, whether it's like home services or like fitness or just like health and beauty. It's like that mom decision maker is such a rich profile to try to get at and get the wallet share from, that it's almost like moving into revenue optimization areas where you can see, okay, where are the underserved pockets that we could be getting more market share in, like a police officer who's working at night and wants to squeeze something in during that type of, there's a lot more opportunity than this massive competition also, which seems pretty cool if you've got some of that data where you can explore it. So
one of the key pieces of data that we decided to act on was the fact that one of the main reasons people were leaving our locations across the world was schedule. Now, our gyms were open 12, 14 hours a day. The fact that they had to close for periods of time when you either couldn't staff it or you weren't able to provide that 24/7 or what we call the 365 model, that was a big barrier. And let's figure out a way to remove one of these barriers that are giving someone a reason to leave. And it's been really exciting, and it's been a fun development, and we're really enjoying leveraging one of the key differentiators, but also one of the key things to market, which is the convenience factor. 1, it's only 30 minutes. 2, you can come in anytime. And now you get to decide if you want to come in during the times where trainers are there or not. And then through that study, That's helped us deliver the messaging, which is, again, providing the proper messaging for that convenience, but also the effective and efficiency of the workout.
Yeah. And that's also interesting about the staffing perspective, because that's a wild issue or at least it was. I think it's lessening a little bit, but such a big issue of trying to keep and hire and recruit good talent. And so do you guys trigger if you're like, oh my gosh, we're like short on staff here, like you can just trigger your always on assisted trainers then? That seems pretty epic as well from the operational side and customer experience, to be honest. Like I get pissed when my local Starbucks is closed and I'm expecting to go get a Starbucks coffee that I'm like looking forward to, but they're like, sorry, no one's here to work and we're not open.
Being a business owner, you have so many challenges, and hiring the right people is a big part. And I think we do a really good job on finding the right personalities, and we teach some general concepts for finding the right people to be employees in your space and grow them. And we try to help as much as we can from the home office too. But things happen, life happens. And sometimes terrible things can happen. An employee gets in a car accident and they're supposed to be the one to open the studio on a Saturday, and you get a text 20 minutes before they're supposed to be there, but I'm on vacation as the business owner and I can't get anybody there. And obviously, first and foremost, I'm making sure that my employee's okay, but my consumers, my customers, my members don't know what happened. They just know that the door's locked. And to your point, they're pissed.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the heck? I pay good money. Like, I have somewhere to be. I'm a member of 9Run because of the convenience, the efficiency, the effectiveness. And the door's locked.
Yeah.
Where now in 2025, we're able to, okay, worst case scenario happened. I can shoot a quick text, email. I can do an Instagram live and say, hey guys, super sorry. Aaron's not, I wouldn't probably say you by name, but I would say, hey, we're having some difficulty with the staff today. No worries. Gym's still open. You're just going to be self-guiding today, right? And obviously you tactfully get that message out. But as a business owner now, I have that extra level of comfort. I can probably sleep better at night because I know even in that scenario, my business can still be open. It can thrive. It can still serve the community as it's intended to, even in the worst of situations.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think that's one of those things where you zoom out and you actually look holistically at the customer experience and what can make it great. It's one of those things where marketers can get zoomed in and so focused on this thing over here of, oh, should I incorporate PMAX into my paid media strategy? How do I do XYZ? And it's like, you're working on this little thing with a 1% improvement over here when look at the big picture for big 10x improvements in that customer experience, like things like that.
One of the things, I know we're focusing on marketing here, but if your product isn't perfectly running, what are you marketing?
Yeah.
You're not going to have much to market. And it's a good tip to always jump back for a second, look at your business from the big picture, and just remember what are some of those main things people are coming here for, and make sure that those things are properly happening from the ops level, and then make sure you're probably talking about that in the community and on your digital ads or on your billboards, whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also curious, just because you have so much experience in the grassroots and then to scale local marketing playbooks, like any other tips or little pieces of strategy or tactics that you guys use in your playbooks that you haven't already mentioned?
There is no easy button when it comes to marketing. It's not one of those things where
no silver bullets.
There just isn't. It's a master. You're mastering the basics, and you have to continue to do the boring stuff. It's less of a tip, but more just a philosophy, and just the fact that it is. I talk to franchisees all the time. This is a breathing thing for your business. This isn't a choice to do this. It's a breathing thing.
Yeah.
It's following up with someone that was a missed sale on day 2, day 5, day 7, day 14, day 30. And we have a CRM that basically sets that stuff up in advance. But you have to do the things that we as humans do to just generally survive, which is, again, that breathing stuff. That's what you have to do. And to me, that was that whole concept. And I'm just coming back to what I talked to you earlier. To me, the breathing thing was, and I literally would have a notebook. right next to my desk. And some days I just tally to keep myself accountable, make sure that my breathing of my business was actually still happening.
Yeah.
And so I guess my biggest additional tip is that accountability. Put yourself in check sometime as a business owner to make sure that you're doing all the things that you need to do. And it's just not one thing. If you think that you're just going to drop a couple grand or even $500 or something into digital marketing and succeed, in today's day and age where on Instagram I'm seeing 100 ads probably over the course of my scroll time of my like 15-minute just drop my brain for 15 minutes. Think of how many ads you're seeing and how much you're competing against. But that's why I love the other side of the coin, and it's just two sides of the coin. You have to have that. You have to have your brand out there, and you can't not do that part. But you also can't not have those one-on-one conversations with those local people in your area about who you are, what you are, and why you care to be a business owner in the area. And I think that's something that I always try to teach people too. Remind people why you got into it. Because everybody's got, all the business owners that come, especially in 9-round, you have a great reason why you decided to buy a 9-round. You hated your job of 20 years, you were burnt out, you wanted to work for yourself. In my case, I was a young entrepreneur that took his time to figure out where I wanted to stick my feet for a while and just go to town and service my community in a certain way. And that's something else to just keep in mind too. The money will come if you continue to keep that approach and that message out there.
Yeah, which makes me think of, what do you guys do for referral marketing or referral program? It sounds like that's the next logical step in that really quality community engagement.
Yeah, we love doing that stuff. And to me, if you were a member of my studio and you brought in 2 of your friends and they sign up, I'm going to give them 50% off their first month, and I'm going to give you a free month. Or like we teach what we call a 50-50 rule. You get 50%, she gets 50%. So you're going to get 50% off of your next month membership. She's going to get 50% off when she signs up today because she knows Aaron, and we appreciate Aaron. You're Aaron's third friend. And just so you know, she's going to get 50% off her month because you came in. So if you have a friend, you get to do the same thing. Aaron, I'll let you work out for 50% off every month if you keep bringing me one person a month. Heck, Aaron, I'll let you work out for free if you bring me 2 every month. And it's a fun conversation where people may laugh about it, but at first, but then they bring in a friend. And then I'm true to my word, which is really important, and you have to make sure that you do. The friend gets 50% off the first month instead of that $150 payment, $75. Oh, that felt nice. I want to do that again. How else can I spread the word about 9-round? And then boom, I have paid for marketers that I don't have to go to. And like I said, I do that trade every day.
How do you get franchisees to get that word out? What does the actual structure behind it look like? Is it giving them talking points to ask in person, email? What does that actual program look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. We provide landing pages for them. We provide email templates for them, text templates. We talk about just general word tracks to be saying in the studio. And we provide what we call the marketing blueprint. And it's that two-sided coin. What are you doing for engagements? What are you doing for outreach, right? And that's part of that engagement piece. What are the things that you're talking about inside the 4 walls? What are you talking about outside the 4 walls, right?
Yeah. That seems like one of those that like is a high priority. Like when we're trying to coach franchisees on the right things to be doing, like getting them to extend to talk to the mayor of your community seems a little bit harder than after a great workout being like, oh, it looked like you had an awesome time. Do you have a friend that you would want to refer? That would be such an easy layup as like #1 priority.
Yeah. One of the other things that is a tip that I always tell people, you have 14 days when the kettle is really hot after someone signs up to educate them on all the bells and whistles, but also things like making sure you get a Google review, making sure that they understand the referral program, because all of it's new.
They're like the time box of that,
all this new information. But after 2 weeks, it's going to start coming to 9-round or that studio is going to just become lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So if you have to make sure that you're properly educating people on the front end to really set that base for then everything moving forward. So then when they see an email or something, they go, oh yeah, I remember Drew told me something about that when I signed up. Actually, I need to talk to Erin. She'd love this place. And like that general foundation was set in the first 14 days, which is really helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know we're reaching up on time here, but last question, I guess, would be, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you wish we would have, or something that you wish I would have asked that I didn't?
No, I think this was awesome. Again, remember that marketing is a two-sided coin. It is, you have your local, and then you have your digital presence. In 2025, that just is the way. But there's a lot of local stuff to do. And one of the things that I'm focusing people on too is during that time, during COVID, you were exactly right. We were just dumping money into digital. And one of the things that I've been tasking a lot of people with is, what are you still doing because of that 2-year time period where everything was shut down? Mm-hmm. That might be blocking you from what you were doing before all that time. And one of the things that I look to is basic marketing principles. Things like being in a magazine or being on the radio or a billboard. Those are tried and true historical marketing tactics that there wouldn't still be billboards if they weren't successfully helping the businesses in your local area. So my biggest thing is, sometimes you got to go back and think what was working before all that craziness, and go back to some of the historical wells that have been around for hundreds of years to market your business. And then use the new stuff too, and have fun TikToks and Instagrams and all that kind of stuff, and have good volume there too. And you have to have a little bit of all of it. You can't just do one. It won't work. I mean that in the nicest way possible. You have to have a very diverse offering of marketing for whatever your business is.
Yeah, eggs in one basket is never good.
It's not. Where the eggs in one basket is staying true to who you are and your business is, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you have to hold the line on. We're a 30-minute workout. We're this corner of the industry. We're not that corner of the industry. This is my offering, and I'm going to preach it from the mountaintops. That's where people can diversify incorrectly. But
yeah, you can't be everything to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Handle your niche.
Exactly. And sorry, I'm going to say one more thing.
Yes, absolutely.
But this is the other key. This is the other reason to diversify your network yourself. That's another place in the network. You should know all the. So in the fitness industry, I want to know the nutritionist. I want to know a great meal service delivery. I want to know a chiropractor, and I want to be that person. So then when you come to me as a member and saying something about lower back or this, you know who you need to call? You need to go over there and actually drop my name, say you're a 9-round member. They do a great special for you. When I can do stuff like that too, that keeps me as the authority of your fitness journey, and another reason for you to stick around with me, because I know all the people that can get you connected no matter what your thing is. And that's marketing too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Drew, thank you so much for joining. This was a great conversation, and thanks to everyone who listened in on another episode, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to The Art of Franchise Marketing. This show is brought to you by NetCertive. We help franchise brands and multi-location businesses run localized digital marketing at scale. To learn more, visit netcertive.com.